So, the grooming aspect, I would say, I would begin with just like normal toothbrush, right? So there's a YouTuber on YouTube called, or YouTuber on YouTube, what? A YouTuber called Teeth Talk Girl, and she does kind of no, just educational, right? They just educational talks about how to groom effectively, but focusing on dentist, right? Dentist things. So what she's emphasizing is that we should do some basics, but I go in depth right now, which means I want to cover everything. That's possible. I think you can go even more deeper than I am currently. I'm just like I would call me an average guy, right? Above average. Not too much, but not like brainwashed grooming routines from the average person. So I would say the electric toothbrush is way better than like an static toothbrush. I'm brushing my teeth for about 5 minutes, not 3, which is suggested by most of the dentists. I have a timer on my brush, which is really helpful to like track time. I do not actually use a specific toothpaste, but I heard about the things where you don't use a toothpaste, but you use a kind of a drop. Not a drop, but just one drop of a toothpaste, right? Which means that you don't have waste material, which is like redirecting to the environment, and of course the environment is redirecting to you, which means that we all should avoid producing too much waste. The next thing would be flossing, right? So I can bring it here. Like, this is the toothbrush that I use. With these kind of offsets attachment. With this attachment here. There are different ones, but I found this to be the most comfortable. The next thing would be right the the flossing, and flossing right after toothbrushing, because the toothpaste is still on the teeth, and if you are using the leftover toothpaste which are on your teeth and like groom them in with the floss um, to brush the teeth interior, right? So between the tooth meat, the gum between the gums. And the next thing would be what kind of floss. So the floss, you know, the typical sticks, which are also a fucking enormous waste of enormous production of waste in our society, which which led to the which led me to buy this floss holder. This little thing just holds the floss, and I could show it to you. Like, I use this floss, which is like wrapped around, and this holds for about half a year or maybe a year if you figure out a more like a more productive way of wrapping around this thing here. And I will not show you how to do this because you can figure it out yourself, but it helped me. The next thing I think is the um tongue 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 brush. So this here, and this is the tongue brush that I use. I had a much more effective one. I think I had the feeling that the the other tongue brush which I used in Japan was much more effective because it had a broader surface, a wider surface than this one, because this surface is really, it's just this thing, and this other tongue brush that I used in Japan, it had a circular brush, which was really nice, and which was really letting myself feeling clean, letting to a clean feeling, right? I fucking cannot speak English. And the last thing would be the water floss, right? So you already brushed your whole teeth for 5 minutes, and you used the leftover toothpaste, and you also avoided a waste of toothpaste because you bought the toothpaste without a paste. No, without the. You know what I'm fucking talking about, right? I need to show you because I cannot explain. So these are the tooth drops. And what I'm going to do is like just put them in my mouth, and they will dissolve, not completely, but in the liquid state where I can use it to brush. And you did this, and you're a really happy guy because you already brushed your teeth for 5 minutes, and this was a good decision for before kissing your girlfriend in the morning, because you should definitely brush your teeth before eating or before doing anything else. No, actually, fuck, I forgot something. Because I move. No, this comes afterwards. Because yes. This is really the first thing after writing down your dreams, and before you even bother about kissing your girlfriend, you need to groom, because your breath might be really stinky as fuck. And then you use the floss, right? But you also avoided waste because you bought just one holder and not used a single, and used every time, used a fucking you know what I mean. And then you used the leftover toothpaste with the floss, which is also pretty good, which is also really important, really important. And then you went on and used the tongue brush, because the tongue also belongs to the mouth, and your tongue is now also really clean. And then you decided to go onwards and do another step, another another control mechanism. Fuck my vocabulary, dude. And use the water floss, which is also really easy. Just put water in here and it comes out there, and it just blah 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 blah. But then you can go above average, right? No, I'm above average. Like, you go above expert mode. You go into ultimate mode. And you probably could also add a mouthwash, like the things which you can buy in a bottle, and you sip it and you make and this is also another add-on, really an ultimate add-on, which I don't do because I think it's a waste of money. And the Teeth Talk girl, which I listen to all the time, she also said it's a waste of money. And you could also add another thing, like a sixth thing, which is, let me think. Like, you could also add like whitening, right? You could whiten your teeth, but not every morning, but periodically. But I think this wasn't the sick thing. Yeah, right, I got it. You can even buy a gum, which you can chew on throughout the day to I don't know, not only for breath, because I also think for cleaning your teeth. So this I think this I consider also a waste of money, but you could do it. And I also want to talk about the things which I which you could do. And there's a lot of tips which I wrote down, and I can quickly go through that, which is the whole universe of grooming. So this video can be really long if we want to. This was just the mouth aspect, so I've completely forgot about the whole face aspect. So I actually do not bother about my face routine, which is why maybe my skin looks not that great. But I just couldn't figure it out, right? I bought so many face products and like products for my face, and they didn't, like, I hadn't the feeling that they did anything good or improved anything in some kind of way. So I will, like, take this with a big grain of salt. But yes, little add-ons are which you can implement throughout your grooming routine is like looking in the sun, not looking in the sun, but get sunlight into your eyes. Definitely don't look directly into the sun, but you're not dumb, right? I don't even need to say that. Get sunlight in your eyes, because this wakes up your whole organism. This is the same thing which I told you the last video, where you should sleep and not activate these fucking lights. Um, this fucking light, don't activate these fucking lights, because they're disturbing the circadian rhythm. Um, and the circadian rhythm, if we talk about the circadian rhythm, we also need to think about the fact, and we also have to acknowledge the scientific proven fact, that if we get sunlight into our eyes, our whole body wakes up. This is natural, because it's an evolutionary thing, which is throughout, I think, the whole animal world, right? Not in any animal, but I think in apes and some other animals, right? If sun is there, they wake up, and if the sun is not there, this is just plain logic. Don't eat between meals. So the smart teeth toe girls also told us, told the world, that they shouldn't brush their teeth 10 minutes or 20 minutes after they've eaten. They need to at least wait for 30 minutes, because there's a scientific uh, study term, process, I don't know how to call it, which is called remineralization. And you can definitely and should definitely look that up on Wikipedia and read through the article. This article is really interesting. It in a detailed way, talks about this way better than I can explain it to you. But it basically says, don't brush your fucking teeth um, before at least 30 minutes have passed. Yes, this is really, really important. The checkups at the dentist, I also think these aren't that necessary, but this is another ultimate add-on. If you want to, you can definitely visit your dentist and the dermatologist for like how many times you want, and prove yourself that you've done everything very well. This is maybe for people which have an insurance, which they don't need to pay a lot for. Definitely not a private insurance. You can do massage the products in, so we can slowly transfer, no, not transfer, but transist to the, like, face massaging. Like, I do face massages and face workouts, and I'm a big fan of it, and I will talk about this later in my routine, and I recommend everyone to do this too, because it feels nice, and I kind of think it improved a little bit the the structure of my face, not drastically, but minimal, minimalist, minimal, you know what I mean. So an IPL laser for long-lasting hair removal. You can look up IPL lasers. I personally have a preference of clean skin without too much hair. I dislike this. You can decide it on your own. But I said it first, IPL lasers can be bought for cheap, and if you're willing to get back to it and be disciplined in using this, you can definitely achieve. I didn't do it. I couldn't achieve it. I wanted clear skin. I wanted to remove my hair, but I didn't push through pain, and I forgot about it. And then later on, I didn't care about it anymore. So micro infusion. You can do this. Maybe you can look it up in the internet what micro infusion means. Your towel is ruining your face. So there's another YouTuber besides Teeth Talk Girl, which her actual name is Whitney, which is also really funny because it sounds like white. So Dr. Alexis Stevens, she actually has no acronym. Is it called acronym? Acronym for her name. She talks about how the towel which you're using is affecting your skin health, which means that you shouldn't use a towel at all in your face. You shouldn't use a towel at all for drying your face or for cleaning your face. I think for cleaning your face, the ultimate hack which I discovered in the last month was just to buy this wet toilet paper and use that instead of buying expensive, expensive, particularly made for skin health in the face products. But this is just my I wouldn't suggest this, but you can do it. You can buy just wet toilet paper and use that instead of towels. If you watch the videos, they really scare you with this fact. So the face sculpting massage is interesting. You can look this up on YouTube if you want to do this in the morning. You can this has kind of an impact to your skin health and also your bone structure. And yeah, this was also almost it. So this was the grooming aspect. It took me 20 minutes to explain this, but I will cut this video later on, and it will be a little shorter. Yes, but I talked for 20 minutes. I hope this guide could help you. This was the second bullet point, no, the third bullet point on my agenda, my 1 week 1 life agenda. I think I will do a little, I will do a full course of this. I have in mind to make a full playlist of my of the full agenda, right? Because the agenda is big, and in the end it isn't that complicated. It isn't that hard to actually implement those things into your life. It really isn't that hard, and this is the most important thing. It makes fun to improve your life, right? It makes fun. You recognize how different aspects of your body are improving, of your mind, of your health or your appearance, and you enjoy those things and you enjoy those little products which can help you out. Unfortunately, I didn't made any of these products myself, which is kind of a pity because I see myself as a universalist and I would love to build these products on my own, but currently I do not have the knowledge to do so. So there are plenty of brands which I buy them from, which I can't cover right in this video. Which in Germany we say explode, would burst the frame, right? This is what we say in Germany. So have a good one. Thanks for watching my video, and always push through pain. Peace.